It was built back in the 1920s so that folks who lived in Glendale didn't have to travel all the way to Hollywood. Hard to believe that. But the Alex Theater is 95 years young, and we are celebrating that and what the future holds. Nina Crowe is the managing director of the Alex Theater, joins us to talk about the great heritage, the legacy. This theater means a lot to Glendale. Hi, Nina.
Hi, Carlos. How are you?
I'm doing great. Love the Alex Theater. It's one of the most iconic buildings in Southern California.
It really is. And when you drive down Brand Boulevard, it's a giant piece of public art, right? With that beautiful marquee and spire and the globe on top. It's beautiful to look at, and it's even more exciting when you can get inside and watch a live performance.
Well, it's gorgeous inside, but I quickly want to talk about the exterior because it's back in its day when it was built, that spire and that globe was a towering centerpiece of Glendale before all the high rises were built. And,
right.
And many people, you could see that from miles around. So it was quite the spectacle.
Right. I mean, and even in Glendale, there used to be an airport, and now it's one of the campuses of Disney. But I imagine they use that as their marker of where they're flying and where they're going to land.
Tell me a little bit about the history of the Alex. How did it come to be, and what kinds of theater have we seen there? Not only movies, right?
Right. Not only movies. It actually started as a vaudeville house built in 1925. And then it morphed into silent movies. And then it became a center for Walt Disney to showcase his upcoming films. It became a screening house where they had basically put the giant Klieg lights out on Brand Boulevard, shoot them up into the sky, and people knew that something exciting was happening at the theater, and they can come see a preview. And similar to that Singing in the Rain, show scene where the producers are in the audience, they're listening to people's laughs or non-laughs, and then they rewrite it, and then they would put it out to the public. So it was that type of movie house until the 80s, when it was a single screen movie theater for blockbusters. But having to compete with the multiplexes that were popping up, as well as TVs that were popping up in people's homes, it went into decline and was eventually purchased by the City of Glendale's redevelopment agency and refurbished and rehabbed into a performing arts and entertainment center.
Well, that vision is truly one of the things that makes so many people in Glendale grateful, because to preserve that iconic building is really important. And it continues. And this is the thing about the community of Glendale is very, very close, very committed to preserving the beauty. Brand Boulevard is one of the prettiest drives in the LA area, and the theater being the centerpiece of that.
Yeah, it is amazing the love. It's one of the great things about being in the position that I'm in are all the wonderful stories and the connections that the Alex Theater is a part of that we get to hear. Whether it's they went on their first date, or they snuck up to the balcony, or they snuck in the back doors, or there used to be 8 theaters on Brand Boulevard. So why did they go to the Alex Theater? Now there's just the one. But it's great to be a part of the history, and the community is certainly committed to ensuring that it stays this regional resource. It's a sense of pride. Not every community has a theater. Not every community certainly has a historic theater. I think there's 2,000 counties across the country that have a historic theater, and Glendale is one of them.
Why is it important to a community to have theater like this?
For a few different reasons. Of course, there's arts and entertainment that's local, that creates a sense of civic pride, but there's also a lot of economic activity that happens. When we are busy, the restaurants around us are busy, we're drawing people into the downtown Glendale area. We can calculate to the penny what that economic benefit is to the city of Glendale. And so it ends up that, if we have 100,000 people coming through our doors, we're almost infusing $2 million of benefits to the waiters, the waitresses, the restaurants, the community at large. So it's an attraction, and it also is an exciting and appealing to people moving into the city to know that somewhere to go and some place to go see a live performance And again, the businesses like to support the Glendale Arts as well, or the Alex Theater as well, because their employees then have that sense of pride and excitement.
So let's talk a little bit about the future, because things have been pretty bleak during the whole pandemic and the downturn in the economy in that area. Tell me what the future looks like for the Alex Theater.
Yeah, well, we along with most other performing arts centers, or all others, are closed right now, but we're certainly not busy. We've actually recently secured a grant from the Amundsen Foundation to pursue our live streaming project, which that is one of the areas that we feel will help us deliver our mission to the community. And once the artists can come back on the stage, how we can bring that and monetize that for the artists and the arts organizations, so that their fans will be able to see them through their screens, since they may not be able to come to the theater. So we continue to love and steward the Alex Theater, and we're actually in preparations almost every day on updating our safety protocols. So when we get the green light, whether it's more than likely the film shoots and the TV locations and scouting that happens first, and then live performances next, we'll be ready.
Well, the live performances at Livestream, if your 95th celebration was any indication, are wonderful to watch, very entertaining and perfectly great. So we wish you the very best. How can we support? What can we do to help?
Oh my gosh. Well, of course, we are always welcome to the generosity of donations. You can go to alextheater.org for more information on that. You can support your local artists. We're going to have a great, beautiful, and meaningful December project where you can leave a wish on the gates of the Alex Theater. And then we'll memorialize that and time capsule that maybe for next year. So a lot of that's on our website. But if you know an artist or an arts organization, to just check in with them and make sure that they're okay.
Well, Nina Crowe, thank you so much for being with us, and happy birthday to the Alex Theater, 95 years young.
Thank you, Carlos.